it got to the point to where it kind of started to lose its magic, its wonder, its the excitement, the joy was kind of lost. Have you lost your way before? Have you gone through a place to where you didn't know what the next thing was going to be for you? Believe it or not, one of the experiments that I've actually done lately is brewing a coffee at 150 degrees. Sometimes coffee can taste like shit, but that ritual, if it's there and it makes us feel like alive, then that's all that really matters. Ugh. Okay, I think I'm pretty good right now. I think you're pretty good right now. We live right now. I do want to just come on here for a little bit to talk about a story that I hope that's going to be a benefit of value to you. It was about 3 or 4 years ago where I was still wondering and questioning my whole thing with coffee. I've been doing coffee for a very long time, more than 10 plus years, trying to figure out business wise, also just drinking it and just enjoying it. I bought all the gears, I bought everything in sight. And it got to the point to where it kind of started to lose its magic, its wonder. You know what I'm talking about. Like, when you first start something, like in this case, we're talking about coffee, and you wondered about like where it's really going to go. And one of the things that I decided to do was to start a business in coffee, which is kind of crazy if you really think about it. Business is hard and it's tough, but mixing business with a hobby that you really truly love can be quite dangerous. And I was already there. And I think this was during COVID time when I was just trying to figure out more things to push the brand, the business forward and all that stuff. And at the time I had a couple different types of ways of actually trying to get the coffee out there. I did farmers markets, I did online sales, I did in-person things to get the word out about my actual coffee. But it was during COVID time, so it was very hard for me to really get some kind of steam and all that good stuff, right? And I got this email on LinkedIn, and it was like talking to me. It was a person telling me that they can help grow, market, advertise my business. And I was like, this is exactly what I needed, So I took the flyer. I was one of few that actually took the flyer. And over the span for a whole year, I spent a lot of money on this person. It was a monthly payment and all that good stuff. And I spent a lot of money. And a lot of times when we talk about money or spending money on things, a lot of times we don't realize the value that we actually get out of it. And in this case, there wasn't much value, really. It was more so kind of like me understanding marketing, how many times you have to put yourself out there and all that good stuff. But a lot of it didn't really seem genuine. It just felt like a blitz or spammy type of way of going about it, But I stuck with it for a while till my wife, of course, intervened. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're paying all this money and all that stuff. And I purposely don't say this individual's name because it doesn't really matter. There's so many different lessons and things that I've learned throughout the whole thing. And I do want to talk about that a little bit as we do this talk. But let's talk about the value that this individual actually gave me. One of the first things he did was he asked me, what's my drive? What's my why with coffee? So I had to think about it again. I had to think about the very first time that I started to drink coffee, started to enjoy coffee, started to really understand the things that gave me the sense of being with coffee. And yes, it was a little hokey. It was a little just, things that marketers do. But I sat there for a while and I wrote the things that really got me into this whole coffee thing and why I cared. Because I think throughout the whole process, I started to lose my way with coffee. I didn't care that much. It started to be more so like a chore whenever I did drink coffee, whenever I gave it out to people. The excitement, the joy was kind of lost. So I sat there and thought about it, and I kept on thinking about why coffee, why me, and what I wanted the future to look like. So I kept drinking it. I tried to explore the ideas that he gave me. And it took over a week for me to kind of get an understanding of why I really truly enjoy coffee and what I wanted to do with coffee. So that was helpful. And then other things that we also did was we helped consolidate some of the ways that I was going about actually presenting my brand and all that stuff. So that was helpful. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that he helped me with was me rediscovering my love, my dreams, my hopes, and everything with coffee. Because I did lose my way. And I don't know if you feel that way at times when you are drinking your cup of coffee. You know, it doesn't have to be like a business. It can be just a hobby within itself. Do you find yourself like in the grunt of the ritual and just trying to make it and just trying to move on? I had those moments, and sometimes it will last years. You know, to be honest with you, I don't know why I say that, because I'm mostly honest all the time, but whatever. We're growing and learning together. So I lost my way. And as I was losing my way, it was very hard for me to figure out what that was, you know, because I used to write a lot. I used to do a lot of different things. And at the time, like photography too, I just stopped doing those things. And I thought about all the stuff that I've been doing in my life and how it does matter, you know. But have you lost your way before? Have you gone through a place to where you didn't know what the next thing was going to be for you? Did you think that your whole identity was wrapped up in this whole hobby? In this case, for us, it's coffee, right? So I thought that it was extremely important that I come on here to let you know that things happen. We live, we learn, we go through things. We try to understand all the things that we're trying to do in life. And I do, if you are in this rut with coffee or any hobby, is that you think about the why you did it in the first place. And then think about the why you would want to continue to do it. And then start to discover different ways that you can go about it. And that's what I've done quite a bit with this podcast, with this YouTube channel. You guys have really helped me out to really get to a point to where I'm rediscovering like the excitement again. I'm trying different recipes of whatever I can think of and whatever suggestions that you may have or whatnot, or things that I'm seeing online, just to really get into the sense of loving and being, and really getting to the point of like, wow, the passion, the spark is back, it's there. And I want to continue it as long as humanly possible. So before we head off for today, I do want to give you a couple different things in order for you to probably think about if you're in this place, so to speak, some solutions that you may have in order for you to rekindle that spark, in this case, in coffee. So I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to bring up what I want to talk to you about. Okay. So we're going to try to piece this together as much as we can. Okay. So do you feel that sometimes when you're brewing your coffee, you're just making it? That's probably one of the signs that you know that you're not so much in over your head. You're probably fed up with that particular thing. And coffee is very interesting to the point to where we do it every day. And at times we do it multiple times a day, right? So if we ever feel that the thing that we love to do every day is becoming a chore, those are some of the things that we can probably get us to think of, like, oh, we're there. We need to start to realize or just come to the why of why we're doing it and what we want it to be in the future. So let's continue on. So one of the tips that I would like to give, if you haven't thought about it, is experimentation. Try whatever you want to do. Try wacky things that you've seen online. Try things that I've given you ideas about. Try things that, that you probably were on the fence about. Like, let's say if you're a light roast person and you'll probably delve into a medium or dark roast, see if you can make it tasty. Those are some of the things that you can do in order to spark that curiosity in coffee. Because as you have witnessed, and as I have understood myself too, is that we don't like everything in coffee, which is perfectly fine. But the place that we're at right now, we may be really stuck in our ways. So it's okay to like experiment and try different things. We may like it later in a certain type of application or whatnot. So try different things if you're trying to rekindle that spark again in coffee. Okay. So that's one thing that I can give off to you. Revisit old favorites. Something that you haven't done in a while. Something that you know that you enjoy quite a bit, right? It could be whatever it may be, right? I don't know what that is for you. For me, I was such a big fan of light roast. So now I am delving into light roast again. I'm brewing it different ways, different temperatures, really putting myself out there. Believe it or not, one of the experiments that I've actually done lately is brewing the coffee at 150 degrees. And it actually did work. But there's things that I'm still learning with that whole method and actually what I'm tasting that it's giving me this thinking of like why I started to go away from light roast and the things that I do like about it, things that I don't like about it and whatnot. So those are some of the whatever that I'm thinking about right now as I go through this whole kind of probably rekindling light roast. I probably won't really get there all the way, but it's a good way to kind of get back into things because believe it or not, even though people say we don't change, we change. So our palates are different. So we may like it for whatever different reasons. And it's a good way to actually try different things, so to speak, right? So with the old things that we did probably like before. All right. So that's number 2. Find inspiration elsewhere. Again, I don't know when this is going to come up, but one of the commenters, he was talking about, for one of my posts that I did about the AeroPress, and he's come from the tea world. And I thought that would be pretty cool to implement tea rituals and methods in order to make coffee, And it's not just only that, it can be other things. It can be, what's another way of saying that? You can experiment in cooking or things that you're learning in cooking when you're cooking. One of the things that I did not too long ago was to test the whole theory of the percolator, like the nitty gritty of actually understanding what it's doing. So one of the things I did was I boiled the crap out of coffee, and it really opened my eyes into the curiosity and the taste profiles of what you can do with coffee in a application that's not customarily used when you're making coffee. So experiment, try different things, either in food or you can try different things in sports or whatnot. I don't know what that may look like, but you get my point, right? We're just trying to understand what we can do with coffee to see we can make it, I guess, magical. If it's not magical, or we're just trying different things out, just something that we can have in our toolbox. Why not? So experiment with whatever you can that the world offers you. Okay. Reflect on the rituals. And I think for me, that's one of the biggest things that lets me know if I'm in a rut or not, as I mentioned earlier, is that we think about the way we make coffee. We think about why we do the things that we're doing. And I don't know about you, I'm sure it's probably similar, but that ritual is the big essence of why we do what we do. Sometimes the coffee can taste like shit. and but that ritual, if it's there and it makes us feel like alive, then that's all that really matters. So reflect on the way you're making your coffee. Think about the beans, think about the grind size, think about the preparation, think about the things that you go through in order to do the things that you're trying to do in order to make something magical, like you're the last step in order for you to enjoy the coffee. So yeah, that's more so the things I wanted to talk about. So did I learn a lot from this person? No, not really. But the biggest takeaway, the thing that he helped me out with, is to rekindle that spark in coffee. Because we go through it. I at least go through it. I don't know if you go through it a lot. But even if you haven't, hopefully some of the things and the signs that I've mentioned will get you to think about, like, wait, I think I'm going down the rabbit hole that I don't want to go in. Meaning that I don't care about it anymore. And that's perfectly fine. If you want to give up coffee, you can give up coffee. But first, ask yourself why you're in this particular rut. Could be just life, just being life. But whatever it may be, that's something more so an individual journey that you have to go through. I just hope that whatever I've shared is of benefit to you to get you back on the place, on the trail, on the path that you want to go with coffee. If you do. So this is Oki at Everyday Beans signing off. I'll talk to you later. Bye.